Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Speed Racing Network Z-Grill Series Duels at Daytona. I am your host, Jacob Zala, here on the mic tonight, and we are looking to have some fun here at the virtual Daytona International Speedway. So far, we have 19 drivers set to take the field here tonight at Daytona, so this should be a lot of fun, and there should be a lot of action tonight. Our first driver on the pole, Vincent Cortez. He set a fast lap in qualifying. Give me 1 second. Everyone, sorry about that. Just having a little technical issues.
Guess I had something.
Just having a little bit of technical difficulties here with the stream. Sorry about that, everybody. This is my first time doing this sort of thing for the production side, so once we get that back and rolling here, I will have the camera set back to iRacing. But as I was saying, Vincent Cortez was the pole sitter at time of our technical difficulties. Paul Bliss was second, Seth Reed was third. So we'll see how that shapes up as we get back into the action. All right, and there we go. Now we see the number 58 of Jonathan Cofield take his lap around. Put him P5 on the charts tonight as he completes his lap. Jesse Nucula out here on track now. He's looking to set a fast lap. We'll see how he goes as he goes to the middle side. I don't even think he's running a fast lap. Doesn't look like it for him. Let's see who else we got here. Blake Hensley. He's looking to set a hot one here. Can he do it? Oh, I just realized I'm not even showing the screen. And there we go. There we are back. Sorry about that. And Blake Hensley could not get a fast lap in. He will be 22nd. Gabe Ellison, I don't believe is on track. Don't see him at all. So Vincent Cortez so far is your leader. Paul Bliss second, still Seth Reed in third. Our SRN Season 4 champion, Seth Reed, if I'm not mistaken. So again, at the beginning of the duels, just like yesterday, the evens will be racing in this first one, and then we will have an intermission, just like you saw yesterday. And then we will have the second duel with the odd qualifying drivers. Gabe Ellison goes 18th on his lap, so we probably won't see him until the second duel. But while I have you here, we'd like to thank everyone for watching Speed Racing Network here today and bringing these guys. These guys bring the action. They really do. Our fifth season here in SRN. These guys bring the action, and I can't wait to see what they do here tonight and how everything shakes out. It'll be fun to watch. I usually don't do this side of it though, so this is a new one for me. But I will enjoy it, and we will make sure to bring you the best action that we can here tonight. I don't know how much time is left in qualifying. I cannot see that. Oh, it looks like the session just switched over. So now we will have Vincent Cortez on pole. In second will be Seth Reed. In third, Jonathan Cofield. In fourth will be Sean Powell. In fifth will be Dustin Montgomery. And sixth,
just odd numbers, correct?
Nathan De La Rosa. Oh, I gotta. No.
We can't hear you guys if you're speaking.
All right, and there we go. Nathan De La Rosa in sixth. Sorry, in seventh, Drew Ballesteros in eighth. Our very own president, Jonathan Byer, in ninth. Jackson Wade in 10th. Logan Truitt in 11th. Scotty Reinscheld in 12th. Blake Hensley, and he will round out the field actually for duel number 1. So we'll go trackside, look at all of the nice schemes here for these drivers. And a lot of them. As we look at Vincent Cortez in the 23 here, these guys will be doubled up, and they'll get doubled up. They look all single file now because it's just all the odd cars, but they will get doubled up and get going. Should be going here in just a second. Yep, there's Seth Reed moving off. Seth Reed will roll off in second here tonight. So we will be 1 to green as we go, and it's go on green. The restart zone is activated. We will have the Geico restart zone to play implications on later, but that won't be in effect for this first restart. The iRacing.com pace car looking nice out there tonight. Hopefully it doesn't have to do too much work out there. 30 laps in this duel. Oh, I have to. Alright, just had to make sure we can get all these beautiful paint schemes looking beautiful like they are out here. That's why you're seeing all the white cars around. It'll take just a second for it to load up and get everything going. Alright, as we go TV2 here, Vincent Cortez on the yellow line. That's a new one to see. But the iRacing.com pace car will roll off the track, and we will get the green flag. Presented by Bonnie here. Let's see how we go here for the Z Grill series. Into the restart zone. Green flag is out. Vincent Cortez will lead him down to the front, lead him down the front stretch here. And oh, they're about to wreck. He got pushed really hard there and almost wrecked. Good job for them to save it. It's only lap one, so I don't know what the intent was there for that. But Seth Reed will now take the lead of this thing. Controlling the lead on the outside is the one of Sean Powell, being pushed by our president, Jonathan Byer. And Cortez jumps to the outside. Cortez is looking to take the lead back that he lost after almost getting wrecked there into turn one. Side by side into turn 3 and 4. Down the front straightaway. Who will lead the lap this time? It looks like it's going to be Vincent. No. Seth Reed got it at the line. Seth Reed is lap 1 leader there. But still a lot of action to go. The 66 of Nathan De La Rosa looking to get up there quick. He has been out there looking good tonight. Jackson Wade up to 8th. Good run for him so far in this duel. As we see Vincent Cortez not having a lot of help on that outside lane. So that's kind of hurting him. As we're going to see Seth Reed, or not Seth Reed, Sean Powell go to the outside. Now Sean Powell is going to try and lead this pack to the front. And sorry, excuse me, that's Jonathan Cofield. Again, new to this, so I might make a few mistakes here and there. Hopefully you'll bear with me. But Jonathan Cofield is being pushed by Vincent Cortez down the back straight away. Still side by side. I mean, these guys are going for it here in this dual race so far. I mean, 3 laps in, and we're pushing side by side. You'd think you'd see maybe they start to string out and go single file, but these guys want to do all of it, and they want every single bit of it, of the action. And that's fine by me. I love when it's side by side racing. I don't like any of that single file stuff at the plate track. So these guys are doing really good to hold it sturdy and steady and not cause a big one, as the outside lane is kind of falling back a little bit. Not really going out anywhere that outside lane is, as you saw De La Rosa drop to the inside. And again, our SRN Season 4 champion, Seth Reed, leading the pack. Down the front straightaway, and will lead the lap again. Just looking to lead laps early and not do what I did in the duel and make crazy erratic moves early on and get on him. I mean, he's showing what he's got. He's bringing the speed. As they're still side by side, they're getting squarely up there. Cortez all the way to the high side. He's going to get back in line and must have not gotten enough air to that thing. Was trying to get air maybe, or just got a little push from the one car, Sean Powell, back there. As the 12 is going to go to the high side. That's Dustin Montgomery. Montgomery's going to look to do something here. He's going to get a push from John Cofield, and he will lead the lap. Is Cortez going to try and take it 3 wide? He thought about it, but he gets back in line, and oh, they're going to take it to the outside. Now it'll be Cofield and Cortez out there. And the 12 of Dustin Montgomery leads the pack right now. But he got a good push there from Cortez, as we see Cortez having some issues on the outside lane. As they're still side by side through 3 and 4. And he is going to give the push, the big push on the inside. to keep the 12 out there of Dustin Montgomery, and they're still there. That outside is coming, though. Cofield wants to get to the lead as quick as possible, but Cortez isn't really giving him enough to do anything with right now. And I mean, it's still early. It is only lap 7 of 30 in this race, so not a lot going on. Yet Seth Reed goes to the high side. And Seth Reed's going to look to reclaim the lead back that he lost to the Dustin Montgomery. Let's see, can he do it? Getting big shots from John Cofield, and he's big pushes down the front straightaway. Can he get it? Can he get clear? He can't. Dustin Montgomery is there, and they will sit side by side. Drew Ballesteros making work of that back bumper of Dustin Montgomery, giving him heavy pushes and making sure he can keep him out front. As we see the 51 go down, and the 51 got it. Seth Reed is back to leading this thing on lap 8 of 30 here at the virtual Daytona International Speedway. And I think Drew Ballesteros blew up. I think Ballesteros just blew up. Yeah, Ballesteros blew up. Tough break there for Drew Ballesteros. He was doing great pushing. It's just he didn't get enough clean air to the engine, and it went kablooey. So tough break there as Jonathan Cofield now leads this thing in front of Seth Reed, Sean Ball, Dustin Montgomery, and Scotty Reinschild. Definitely a couple of newcomers up here, and it's good to see for this Z-Grill series. A lot of names that some of the fans out there aren't used to seeing. Oh, the 12 got loose. Got very loose. Good job to save it there as Seth Reed is going to continue pushing it. Cofield. And I don't know if that's a good thing because, again, we did see Drew Ballesteros blow his motor in that run. And they're going to be 3 wide. Drew Ballesteros has no help. He's going to get put in the sucker hole. Sorry, Seth Reed. Oh, and Jonathan Cofield gets turned around. Oh, no. Vincent Cortez got into Jonathan Cofield and not anywhere for him to go, and just hits the wall, and no caution, unfortunately, for him, so he's going to lose out on a lot of spots. As we go back to looking at Dustin Montgomery back there, or up there. Now it's the game of who's going to push the inside lane, because you can see there's not a lot of cars up here right now. It's just, I think all these guys are still trying to play the waiting game, but it's a lap 11 out of 30. If you want to move, you got to move sort of quick here. You don't have to do anything that quick, but we'll see what these guys are thinking. As we saw the cockpit of the 12 of Dustin Montgomery just trying to keep that wheel straight. Seth Reed is getting a push from Vincent Cortez, 2 guys we have seen in the Z-Grill series before. As they're going to get by the lap car of Jonathan Cofield. Oh, the 18 is squirrely down there. Good job for him to save it. That could not see who that might have been. I think that might have been Scotty Reinschild. Let's see here what these guys are looking at. Gonna be big pushes from the two that are pushing these leaders on both lanes to try and keep them in front. Still side by side. Not a lot of laps left in the first duel. These guys are making quick work of this thing. And I believe Seth Reed, no he did not. Dustin Montgomery led that lap again. But Seth Reed looking to reclaim the lead. He's been out front a lot tonight. Let's go on board here with, if we can go on board with Scotty Reinschelt. All right, and that was a quick look at what Scotty Reinschelt saw through that little half a lap there as we go back to Dustin Montgomery. And oh, Scotty Reinschelt getting loose. These things look loose out here tonight. I don't know if that's just what the car is putting on or maybe the drivers or what, but these things look loose. So your top 7 right now as it goes is Seth Reed, Dustin Montgomery, Vincent Cortez, Sean Powell, Jackson Wade, and Scotty Reinschelt. They're in the 18. De La Rosa a little ways back in 7th. We'll see if he's just going to play the waiting game as it's only lap 16 of 30. Still a little bit of time left in this duel, number 1. Seth Reed takes the lead from Dustin Montgomery now. Dustin Montgomery going to the outside. And Reed looked like he was going to try to block the outside lane, but he couldn't do it. He didn't have the room for it, and now Dustin Montgomery is going to get a huge run down the front straight away, and he could clear him if he wanted to. And he's not, but if he wanted to, he could have cleared him. What a push by Cortez there. Let's see, Cortez is going to stay right back on the back bumper of Dustin Montgomery. And Montgomery, he's got a long ways to go. And Cortez is going to take it to the inside. And Cortez is going to try and lead a lap here today. And he's going to do it. Seth Reed's going to push him. And Cortez is going to lead this lap, lap number 17. Now on lap 18 of 30. Oh, Vince Cortez popped back out there, but he's back now, and he's going to control the outside lane. Went a little low. Almost got a potential of being hooked there, but luckily didn't. And oh, speaking of getting hooked, Sean Powell is wrecking. Massive wreck in the back. Oh, and the caution flag waves here at Daytona, and just Scotty Reinschelt got right into the back of him and just hooked him around there. Oh, huge wreck there, and it's a tough break for some of these drivers. Let's go look at it one more time here. We're gonna look at it from the onboard of John Cofield. If I can. Yep, we're gonna look at it on the onboard from John Cofield here. As you can see, John Cofield right behind it, just nowhere to go for him, just into the incident, almost flipping there. I believe that was Logan Truitt who had an incident with, was in that incident, but as we go live here, I think we are going to get our pole sitter, Mr. Seth Reed, in here for an interview. Oh, if I can get him in here. Give me 1 second. I just need to. God, I can't get him back in here. Where'd he go? There he is. Sorry about all the confusion there, Seth. This is Jacob from the booth. You got a copy for me.
I got you.
So I mean, dude, you've been running pretty good. I mean, again, you are the past champion, so you do have a little bit a leanway here, but your car's looking fast out there tonight. Kind of talk to me about what's going on with that thing out there.
Yeah, I mean, we have a new setup this year, but it's pretty much the same tendencies. Keep you up front, just cycling the lead and trying to stay on the first two rows at least. If you fall back behind that, you're kind of at mercy of the guys in front. So just trying to keep in the top four spots, and Vince is doing a good job up here too, and got some new competition, new faces. So it's fun trying to just learn everybody, and man, I haven't been in a car since the championship race, so I'm trying to knock off some dust too.
Yeah, it's been there's a lot of dust going on here,
Yeah.
especially for me. I mean, I'm new to this broadcasting thing, so this is a little interesting for me. But yo, are you planning on working with Cortez, or is there just gonna be, see how it goes to the end here?
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I don't know who teammates are, to be honest with you. It's too early in the season. Um, so I don't know who's gonna be working with each other. So I mean, everyone else might have the same questions too. So hopefully they don't realize Vincent's my teammate. So, I mean, if worst comes to worst, we'll work together at the end if it works out that way. But if not, then it's every man's for himself for the win.
All right. Well, before I get you back to the Tank Racing Discord, is there any sponsors you have to thank and all that good stuff? I'll let you do that.
I'll just Silverback coming on board. It's a perfect paint scheme for this year. I'm really excited to represent them, and going to try to get them a win this tonight and next week as well.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we'll see you back next week. I mean, you won't see me. I'm not the normal face, but hopefully we'll see you back in Victory Lane next week. I'm gonna try and get you back down to your Discord as quickly as possible. So bear with me. All right, and that was Seth Reed. Didn't win yet. I was about to say our winner, do one winner, but did not win yet. So can't say that just yet. But we're about to go back racing here, lap 21 of 30. So not a lot of cars left in this thing without damage. You see our president there, Jonathan Byer, in 6th. He's got some damage. Blake Hensley in 7th. He's got some damage. So the only cars I think that don't are Seth Reed, Vincent Cortez, Dustin Montgomery, and I think that's it. I think there's only 3 cars without damage in duel number 1. That's what it looks like, but just 2 tank drivers and Dustin Montgomery. And then a bunch of JBR drivers behind that. And Jackson Wade. Jackson Wade is out there as an independent this season. And he's got a clean car. Excuse me, I forgot about that. I didn't even see that. So good for him. Having a good run for himself out there. And I believe that car pulling up was Cofield, and Cofield is a lap down. As the iRacing.com pace car pulls off into the pit lane, and we get into the Geico restart zone. Green flag is out at Daytona, as Seth Reed will lead it. And Vincent Cortez on the outside, going to be pushed by Logan Truitt, who might not have as bad as damage as I think. Doesn't look like it. He might be good to go here. So he's going to try and push Cortez on the outside, but there's not a lot of shooters to go with him. We'll see how that ends up turning out. As we will go down into turn 4 on the front straightaway, getting loose a little bit is Cortez wiggling, but we are on lap 23 of 30 in this duel, number 1. And oh, Cortez is ever so squirrely out there off the pushes of Logan Truitt in the 35. But nothing to go with it. And Truitt was looking to try and go around it, but I don't think he's going to be able to. He might just fill back to the bottom side. I think even with that damage, Jonathan Byer, our president, is all right. He looks all right. And is able to keep with the pack, at least. So that'll help. But as they roll back on down the front straightaway. See if we can get a little inside view. Oh, never mind. Jonathan Byer goes out of line, but he saved it. Good job on that. And he will keep it moving. Cortez just losing spots because there's nobody there to help him on the outside. He's trying to hang it up there. And somebody's going to go with him now. Jackson Wade will go with him on the outside. Lap 25 of 30. Not a lot of laps left in this thing. These guys are pushing hard now. And I expect that from drivers in this situation right now. These guys want to get a good spot for the first race of the season. So they have to push. And Reed is getting ever so squirrely. Side by side, Seth Reed and Jackson Wade. They are making wonders. Oh, and he puts him in the wall, and they are wrecking Seth Reed around. No. Oh, no. The caution flag is out. And, man. Tough break for Season 4 champion Seth Reed there. I mean, luckily there's not a lot of cars left on track, so he should still get a decent finishing position. But let's see if we can take a look at that one again. And here is the replay of that one, just getting into the side of Jackson Wade. And, man, tough situation there for those drivers. But as we go back live, Dustin Montgomery is leading this thing. Let's see if we can find him and get an interview with him, a newcomer to the series. It's hard to drag and drop. Dustin Montgomery, this is Jacob Zala in the booth. Do you got a copy?
Hi, what's going on?
Man, you're leading this thing. We've seen you up there on all race so far. I mean, you're a newcomer to this series, man. You're having a good run out there. Talk to me about the run you're having.
Yeah, well, I'm just trying to have some fun. I hate that my teammates are wrecked out, but still just try to have a good time.
Yeah, man, I agree. Since you are a newcomer, I believe, I don't know if I've seen you in SRN before. How are you feeling about your first race in this league?
Yeah, we were all excited to come here and run, and it's been a good time so far, so be happy with it.
That is what I like to hear. I mean, you've been doing well so far. Um, how are you going to be able to keep this thing out front and hopefully get the dual one win?
Hopefully some well-timed blocks, and a little bit of luck.
That's right. Daytona does come with a lot of luck. You definitely do need a lot of luck here. But I will go ahead and ask you if you got any sponsors you would like to thank or shout out before I drop you back down with your teammates to finish this thing out.
Yeah, just, we want to thank Liquid Molly and Phase 2 Chassis Works for putting us out here to race. Good looking cars.
Sounds good. All right, Dustin. Well, hopefully we'll be seeing you back in the booth here as a dual one winner in just 2 laps time.
Thank you.
All right, and that was your leader right there, Dustin Montgomery. Still some time left in this thing. The pace car is not rolled off yet. Obviously, the pace lights are still on. Let's see if we can get a little interview in with Logan Truitt real quick before we go back green here. Well, Logan, you said you weren't going to get one, but I'm going to get you one here as sitting P2 at Daytona. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
You're sitting P2 so far. There's not a lot of cars left. I didn't see if you had any damage. It didn't look like you did. But you've ran a solid race so far. I haven't really talked about you. You've been sitting in the back. Talk to me about what your plans are or what you are going to do here to try and get this win in the duel.
I'm just gonna hope someone's gonna push me to the win behind me, but I know a lot of cars in this field still have a lot of damage. I think if you have a good line on the bottom, you're gonna be good, but it's gonna be hard on the top.
Yeah, I think right now I'm only seeing 3 cars without damage, but I'm just going to get that question in and ask you who you got to shout out real quick before you get back racing here.
Well, I gotta shout out team owner Jonathan Byer and everyone on the team. I know Gabriel isn't in this race, but everyone else is. Most of us are damaged except for me, but it's been a good one so far.
All right, sounds good. Well, hopefully we'll be seeing you on the flip side after this one is over. Good luck to you.
Thanks.
All right, and that was the second place car of Logan Truitt for Jonathan Byer Racing as the pace lights are out. And we will see how this thing fizzles out. So now we have Justin Montgomery out in P1, Logan Truitt second, Blake Hensley third, Jonathan Byer fourth, Vincent Cortez fifth. I believe the only 3 cars without damage is Vincent Cortez, Logan Truitt, and Dustin Montgomery. Jackson Wade in 6th and 7th, Seth Reed in 8th, Cofield, and then in 9th, Sean Powell, and the lap down guys. As the iRacing.com pace car rolls down the front straightaway and looks to roll onto pit road. Rolling off and into pit road as we will take the green here. In the Geico restart zone, green flag is out. A good jump for the 12 of Dustin Montgomery's. Logan Truett's going to get shuffled by Jonathan Byer. I don't know what's going on there, but you figured maybe Byer would have let him in, but I guess not. And Dustin Montgomery's going to lead this thing on this green-white checkered. And Jonathan Byer's going to go to the outside, and he's going to get a huge push from his Jonathan Byer Racing teammate, Logan Truitt, as Vincent Cortez pushes the 12 of Dustin Montgomery. Logan Truitt looking to make a move to the middle, and he's going to get it. I just don't know if they have the power on the outside with Jonathan Byer leading it with that damage on the front. Now Cortez is going to look to take it to the high side as we go white flag here at Daytona, and he gets turned. Vincent Cortez gets turned by Jonathan Byer. Oh, no. But we still got racing to do here. He's going to try and block his teammate. I don't know what's going on there. Dustin Montgomery looks like he's going to probably pull this thing off if they don't figure out what to do on the outside. Lane Jackson Wade gets turned off Seth Reed's nose. Another one. Now it's just 3 Jonathan Byer racing cars and Dustin Montgomery. 3 wide, and Byer puts Truitt in the wall, not on purpose. It didn't look like. It looked like it was an accident, but it looks like... Can we see it? Can Blake Hensley get something to the outside? No, Dustin Montgomery will win the Duel 1 here in the Z-Grill Series. And what a finish that was into the Z-Grill Series Duel number 1. A great finish by those guys. And a lot of things gone wrong there for a couple guys, but Dustin Montgomery, Blake Hensley, and Jonathan Byer will be your top 3, so I'll probably just go ahead and pull those guys up. I'll pull Dustin Montgomery up first. I mean, we already talked to him, but there's no shame in talking to somebody again, right? Where did he go? Oh, there he is, Dustin Montgomery, our Duel 1 winner. Man, tell me how it feels, new to the league and got your first win in a duel.
Yeah, that was a wild race there, man. But I had a good time, and we're happy.
Yeah, man. I mean, good on ya. I mean, I already asked you who you wanted to thank, so I talked to you before, so I'll go ahead and get you back down with your teammates to celebrate here. But good win there, man.
Thanks, guys.
All right, and P2, I believe, was the 31 of Blake Hensley, so we'll go ahead and talk to him. Pull him up accordingly. And, oh, that's not who we wanted. I need to... There he is, finally, now I got him. P2 in duel number 1, Blake Hensley. Blake, new to the league, I believe. I haven't seen you in here before. You had a good run there, though. I mean, you had damage, but I mean, talk to me about the race tonight.
Yes, sir. I am a new guy, but we were all just kind of riding around the back area for the first good bit of the duel there, and couldn't miss that wreck. And a minute something the damage, you got it fixed, and the car still had good pull. It wasn't really capable of leading anything, but a good sucker draft, and then it would take off, and just need a little bit more there at the end to make that pass for the duel win. But coming home second after all that, that's a pretty good feat for a debut, I reckon.
Yeah, I would agree there. I mean, and these duels are definitely important for positioning going into Daytona. You'll be starting, I believe, third, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know how that's all going to shake out. But how does it feel having, if that is where you shake out, at least second row spot in the first race of the season?
Having that second row spot is nice, but Me personally, with the super speedway racing, I like to try to hang around and kind of feel everybody out, and then make my move later on, kind of like I tried to do tonight. But I don't know, I might have changed my approach based on how tonight went. So that third place starting spot could be good. But either way, it is nice to be start up at the front and run that JBR car the best I can.
All right. Well, I will go ahead and let you thank who you got to thank, all the sponsors you have before we send you back down to your Jonathan Byer Racing teammates.
Yeah, you know all the awesome sponsors have here at JBR. Personally, I feel like I'm the boot guy. I got Durango and Durango boots, Rocky boots, and I have drawn a blank. But
It's
all
all
the
good.
other awesome, all the other awesome partners we've got, I'll figure that out eventually. But all the other awesome partners the team's got, it's pretty cool to come in here in a group like this. And from what I see already, it's going to be a great season. So excited for the rest of it.
I agree, and it'll be fun to watch as I won't be the normal broadcaster, but just filling in for tonight. Thank you for talking with me, Blake, and I'll get you sent back down to your teammates accordingly. Bear with me.
Yes, sir. Awesome job tonight. Thank you, sir.
No problem. All right, and I believe I will go ahead and get our third place finisher, our very own president, into the Discord. The boss man finished
Hey,
P3.
I did.
Talk to me about it.
Um, that was wild. It was an interesting race. It was pretty slow to start with. Um, Kind of reminds me of the first duel last night. It just at the end, it gets a little bit active. Guys start making blocks and moves and side drafting, and that's where some of those first incidents came from. It was a product of bad side drafts, and you get these cars too close together, especially with a couple guys blinking. It's just not going to end very well. But we got some damage in that first one. We're able to come get it fixed. Wasn't the best leading, so that kind of hurt me there at the end. I think I could have maybe got to Blake a little bit better and pushed if I didn't have that nose damage. But we'll take P3. We'll take the bonus points getting into the start of the season, and it was cool to see three JBR cars finish in the top five for the inaugural race of season five.
Yeah, I agree. I gotta talk about that. Those little incidents there with Logan. I mean, I don't know what happened there, but you guys were all over the place there.
Yeah, there we were three wide as a team on the backstretch unintentionally, and I was like, "Oh, I guess I'm in the middle," and it's so hard to judge, especially if the car's even with you and you don't have a spotter telling you how far up they are on the track. So we got into three, and it was just I was a little close to Logan because I was watching the 31 and put him up in the fence, but apologize for it. It's all good. But we'll learn about those situations, take
And
note, and try to clean it up before we
I think
get
I know
next
a
week.
thing or two about wrecking my teammate in the duel. So
no, no comment.
no
I didn't see
comment.
that at all.
Yeah. That definitely didn't happen. But all right. Well, I will go ahead and get you back. Oh wait. Well, are there any sponsors you would like to thank? Of
Oh,
course.
tons. Yeah. We'd like to thank all the partners that came back to Jonathan Byer Racing for season five. We couldn't do it without. I mean, we have so many, but to highlight the ones that were in the race tonight: Southwest Auto Shield, Longo Toyota Prosper, a Black Box Creative, Georgia Boot, and then you'll see Gabriel Ellison, the lone JVR driver, coming up here in duel number two. That car is unsponsored at the moment, so if you'd like to partner with us and do something special, for sure reach out to us, and you'll be able to see your logo on that car. But we couldn't do it without our partners. We're thankful for all of them, and ready for the season to start. I'll be joining you in the booth here in a couple minutes to make duel number two happen.
Sounds good here in just a second. I will get you back down there accordingly. But Duel 2 is going to happen in just a moment. While that goes down, I'm going to take just a quick break for a second to get everything loaded up, and we'll be right back with you. All right, as we go back live into duel number 2, there will be a lot going on the line. The outside row number 1 is to gain here in this session. So a lot going on, a lot of racing to do, and a lot of action to be seen in this last duel in the SRN Z Grill series. Make sure if you're not already subscribed, you do so. You can see it right here on the screen. Subscribe to Speed Racing Network. And if you want to check out Speed Racing Network and you want to join Speed Racing Network, you can go to www.speedracingnetwork.com. There's not a lot of spots left, so if you want to join, make sure you do so quickly. Alright, gonna go on track and just watch a little bit of practice with these guys. The drivers in this session will be Gabe Ellison, Brandon Burkhart, Max Service, Christian Swenson, Kyle Ryan, Jesse Nukula, James Harris, Tyler Justice, David Robertson, Scott Kalal, Paul Bliss, Bobby Anderson, and Adrian Schumacher. Adrian Schumacher pushing Brandon Burkhart around the track, just having a little bit of fun. Let's see if we can get a nice little cockpit game of that. All right, there were some shots of us listening to the cars roar there as they go around and do their practice runs before we get into duel number 2. Same setup, just the odd number drivers, and I believe Jonathan Byer will be joining us. I believe he's here right now.
Hey.
Hi, Jonathan. How's you doing, buddy?
I'm back. That was quick. Swapped out the driver's suit for the broadcasting suit. We're ready to go. We've had a lot of fun broadcasting on Tuesday night for our Fiverr Truck Series. The duels are just so much fun because, it's only stuff to gain, really nothing to lose. I mean, you're going to race next week regardless, and for all intents and purposes, your starting spot doesn't make a big difference at Daytona. So you're just guys out there trying to earn extra bonus points. So um, it makes for an exciting show for sure. I'm ready for this next one. We got a quite a good lineup of drivers in here as well.
Yeah, we do. We got some new faces. David Robertson, Burkhardt, Schumacher, not a new face. Ellison, also not a new face. New team, though. We'll say that. Christian Swenson, Paul Bliss, Scott Kalal, Bobby Anderson, Max Service, Jesse Nukula, James Harris, Kyle Ryan, Tyler Justice, and Seth Reed. Well, Seth Reed's not driving. He shouldn't be driving, but he is in the session.
I think he's in here spectating. But no, it was a good race for that first race. It was a lot of fun to be in. And you brought up something about the new faces. With new people, these duels are a good chance for us to learn. How they drive, what their tendencies are, um, and it's probably good that it happens in a non like main points event
Right.
because I think that's what led to a couple of the incidents in race number one. But I'm ready to go for this next one. I think we'll have about 12, 13 drivers in it, and we'll find out how the starting lineup fills out for next week.
Yep, and I think we should just be going to the green here, to the grid here.
Yes, and what our admins are doing right now is they're going to get everybody double filed up, make sure everything's good to go, call out the order because they need to order them manually. I have to give a big shout out to our admin team. The last couple of days, they've done a fantastic job helping uh, get the league set up, get the session set up, and operate these duels smoothly. Um, Once we get through this one, we'll finally take a sigh of relief and get ready for next week. But they've done an incredible job, so I want to give them credit for that.
Yeah, they have. I agree. It takes a lot, and these guys are out there working their butts off. As we go through the starting lineup, you will see the 46 of David Robertson in first. In second, Tyler Justice. In third, Gabe Ellison. In fourth, Brandon Burkhardt. In fifth, Paul Bliss. In sixth, Kyle Ryan out there. And admin. So it'll be fun to see him in the field tonight. Seventh, Max Service. In eighth, Scott Kalal. In ninth, Christian Swenson. In 10th, Adrian Schumacher. In 11th, Bobby. In 12th, Bobby Anderson. In 12th, James Harris. And in 13th, Jesse Nukila.
And it should be roughly the way they line up. There might be a couple of those that swap as soon as they get everything set up. You see them right now. They're rolling off and trying to get in the right order. So that's what they're doing right there. But we're excited for season 5 of SRN. Glad we could bring the series back. A little different look this year. New branding, new ownership, new leadership, lots of new drivers, and a new series set up. No more Cup series. We have 2 Truck series. So um, it's going to be a good season. We're all super
Yeah,
excited for it.
it was interesting to see that go away. Can you kind of talk us through your decision a little bit through that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously NASCAR runs the top 3 touring series of each car, and we we try to do a lot of things they do, but we have to look at field sizes and what people like, and naturally on the iRacing service, people love the trucks, just love them. So we're going to give them more trucks. So that's what we've done. That, and we've split the truck series into 2 separate series based on skill level. And that has, interestingly enough, brought back some guys that have raced with us previously that, as the league became more competitive over time, kind of faded away. But with the new truck series for those newer drivers or less experienced drivers, it gave them a chance to come back and compete for something. So we're glad we were able to welcome those guys back, and it'll be an exciting season, an exciting show 3 days a week for the next 24 or so weeks. But it looks like we're almost ready to go here for this one. They might have to add a pace lot.
Yeah, I think they already did. I don't think we're gonna be going green here. Nope. So I think next time we'll be going green, or
Yeah, it sounds like they're still sorting it out in there. And that's what our series director Josh Marcy's doing right now. He's calling out to make sure they're in the right order. Not that the order matters too much, obviously, at Daytona, but we need to be as correct as possible. So they're working through that right now, and we'll get an extra little breather here before green. But also, we'd like to thank all the sponsors of SRN as well, all the guys that make this possible. Um, obviously Z Grills being the title sponsors of this series, but we also have title sponsor Glitch and Fiverr. Couldn't do without them. Admin Box has been a huge support for us to getting all our brand new admins for the first time hooked up with equipment to make their life a little bit easier. Select Blinds, you'll see some stuff from them. EPI for their assistance. We're ready to go. We couldn't do without our partners. Thankful for all of them. You'll get to see highlights from them throughout the season. And you'll get to see and hear from a lot of the sponsors that help these teams as well. You heard a little bit from them in the interviews in the first duel. And all the companies that choose to do business with SRN and our teams make this possible. So we'd like to give a couple seconds there to thank them for what they do.
Yeah, and a lot of sponsors that keep this thing going. These guys, it almost starts to feel like the real thing once in a while once you get all these sponsors coming along. So it's really nice to see, as I believe the iRacing.com pace car should be pulling off this
Yep, I
time.
hear that they're going to go green this time. So we're getting ready for duel number 2. But to your point, yeah, it's crazy the economy of the Speed Racing Network series and league itself, and it does mimic real life NASCAR quite a bit. We're proud of that fact. But it looks like we're going here.
As the iRacing.com pace car pulls off down to pit road, we will take the green here at Daytona International Speedway with Paul Bliss leading the field.
All these drivers trying to slot their place in line. I think one thing that makes these duels also unique is you're not guaranteed to have your full teams in here. Note the 36 Gabriel Ellison there. He's the lone JBR driver in this duel. All 4 of the other JBR cars were in duel number 1 with me. So that makes a difference here because he doesn't have that built-in drafting partner. He's going to have to make some friends out there and find out who's going to be the best pusher or who he can follow.
Yeah, and I think you also see that with Max Service as well, as I believe Adrian Schumacher is having issues and he is dropped. So Max Service is also another lone wolf out there. And he's still out there in second doing pretty well for himself right now. And not too many people moving like we saw in Duel 1. Just kind of trying to stay out there and, not junk it.
Yeah, and guys will probably try to find their teammates if they have one over the next couple laps. I think that's what we're going to start to see. The red car in the middle there got a little squirrely
Gabe
for a
Ellison's
second.
looking to take it 3 wide. He's 3 wide on the top side.
Well, if you saw when Gabe pulled to the outside of that red car, the 84, it kind of sucked that thing around a little bit. There is some handling with these cars. It's a super speedway, yes, your foot to the floor, but I noticed driving these things with our new custom built setups we're using this year, they do have some handling. You do actually have to drive them and be careful about the way the air is moving and who you're passing and when you're passing them. And you almost saw that cost the 84 here early, but able to hold on to it, and everybody's going to sell in a 2x2 motion here.
Yeah, I noticed early on. I mean, I think Justin Rideout had some issues with the motor, so you have to watch the oil temp in these things too. It looks like. I don't know if you could give us any insight on that.
Yeah, I mean, I was fine. I wasn't running right up, tucked right next to somebody for a long period of time, so that might have played into it. But these Xfinity cars are super sensitive on the nose. It doesn't take a lot of damage for them to start overheating or even be a drafting issue. I think that happened with my car in Duel 1. Got nose crunched a little bit, but it was enough to where I could not lead a line. It was just like a parachute. So these noses are very sensitive. So just some bumper tag will be the detriment of these cars for sure. But you notice the first 2 cars up here out front, new team, new drivers to the series and making a statement pretty quickly.
Yeah, they are. Tyler Justice and Brandon Burkhart doing really well so far. And, like you said, teammates are going to find teammates. They have found each other, and they are leading the field. And with 2 teammates up here, I don't it might be tough to pass him. I mean, granted it's only lap 4, but passing him is definitely going to be tough.
Yeah, your teammates is always going to block on your behalf. It's just the teammate thing. But you also have to balance a lot of things. You have to watch your mirror, see where the run's coming behind you, make sure you're 2 or 3 wide. Some of these guys use actual spotters as well, and that can be super helpful because the iRacing spotter doesn't give you all the information you need. But everything seems to be working so far. Guys are settling in. You do see them wander a little bit on the straightaway, and I'll tell you that's kind of because of the way the front ends of these cars are pitched with this setup. It's you got to be very particular how you have your wheel, especially on the backstretch, because that thing will kind of steer itself. So. That's why you see some of those guys getting a little out of line on the stretch. They might just try to be getting used to this thing for the first time because they haven't had hardly any practice time with it.
Yeah, as the setups do not come out regularly for the duels, or did not come out regularly for the duels. So these setups are definitely new to these guys.
Yeah, these setups will usually be out on the Sunday before the upcoming races in a league-wide practice session, and they can download them from there and practice with them over the next couple of days. But for the duels, we kind of just threw them out there. This is the first time they're seeing this. They'll have a whole week though to fine-tune it and learn the intricacies of it. But there's no better way to do that than throw them in a race session and figure it out from there.
I couldn't agree more there. As we if you're Gabe Ellison, what are you thinking? You're the only, again, JBR car out there. Your other 4 teammates are done, essentially.
Well, I think what you notice is the guy that slotted in right behind him there, that's Bobby Anderson. Bobby Anderson actually drives a JBR truck. So he may not be on the same team with them here in the Xfinity or the Z-Grill series. Sorry, I'm going to say that a couple times this year, I'm sure. They do know each other and are teammates in another way, if that makes sense. So it's kind of natural that you see those two pair up and work together. That might be Gabe's only option in this race, really, is to lean on Bobby. But you do see that teammates have now found each other, pretty much lined up here, and it can be tougher too with the smaller
Oh,
car
Bobby
count. Whoa,
Anderson!
Bobby got a, and then the
Little
32
loose,
got a
and the
little
32
loose
got
there
to lose
too.
there. Scott
That was
Kalal.
that could have been terrible. That's probably one of the worst places to initiate an accident. There is on that tri-oval because there's really nowhere to go because the grass is like ice and the angles are super hard to see what's happening in front of you. So kudos to everybody there for keeping it straight.
Yeah, they kept it straight, and we are still going. Lap 8 of 30 in duel number 2. Tyler Justice still leading the field, and Gabe Ellison was there close to him, but we saw that little incident there, and they're going to have to try and work their way back up there.
When you see everybody start to funnel to the bottom here, and I noticed when I was in the race that after 8 or 10 laps, which is where we're at right now, handling starts to come into play quite a bit, and the car was the most stable on the. As I say that, you get a 4-car train to the outside, but if you're searching for stability, the bottom's probably the best place to be. But we have a nice little train going here on the outside.
Yeah, we do. Max Service jumped up in front of Gabe Ellison. Gabe Ellison is going to give a nice push to Max Service down the back straightaway.
Huge push. That might clear them both. It was close, but
It's
it
going to
almost
clear
cleared them
Max
both.
Service. It will clear Max Service, and Max Service will be your new leader in duel number 2.
Now he looks like he might get shuffled out of line. Justice actually leaves his teammate Burkhart to get up in front of Gabe. So Justice wants to get back in front of this field. He likes leading that thing.
Yeah, it definitely looks like he does, and Ellison giving him a nice push to do so clears them both to the bottom. And Bobby Anderson is stuck out there with Scott Kalal, and that's it.
Yeah, Bobby and Scott are just chilling up there. They're actually teammates in this series. PVR has chosen to field an Xfinity team as well last minute, and so those guys are going to be racing together. So they're going to try to figure it out as well. They don't quite have the paints figured out yet because pretty new development there, but they'll get sorted out for week 1.
Yes, they will, and now it's just going to be a single file train. We didn't see any of this in duel number 1. I thought we might, but we didn't. And nice to see that these guys are just gonna take it easy.
Well, and the 6 and the 8 car have another teammate in this race, but he's not with them. He's a little further back there with the 10, um, new driver to this series as well. I wonder if Christian's going to try to find a way to maybe use some of these other guys to get up to his teammates. But in about 8 laps, when we get down to the pay window being open in this race, I'm sure we'll see them get together.
Yes, we will as we look out the right front of the 10. He's just got that single file train right in front of him. I believe that is one of our series directors right in front of him, Kyle Ryan. He's doing not so bad for himself out here tonight.
Yep, that's Kyle. He's our director of competition, actually, here in Speed Racing Network. Our series directors can't drive. He's doing a little bit of R&D for us. He's in charge of competition, so he needs to kind of see how the race is flowing from a first-hand perspective. And he's kind of loosely in charge of the setups as well. So he needs to drive them to make sure that everything is up to par. In case we need to make any adjustments for the drivers out there to make sure we're putting on the fairest and the best show possible. So he has that blank number 89 rolling out there, just doing a little bit of recon for us tonight.
Hey, and he's looking like he's having fun with it as we see the the 8, sorry, Brandon Burkhart jump to the outside. And the 84 is going to go with them. So now will we see the outside start to prevail here? And will the 8 try and get out front of the 6?
Yeah, the 8 jumped out of line there. Didn't get a good run initially, but they get to this backstretch. I think that might help them. But I don't think that 84 is really on his bumper close enough of Jesse there to give him the push he needs to maintain that momentum. And they were a little far away from that inside line to side draft as well. So it looks like they're just going to kind of hold serve there on the outside where they're at.
Yeah, they're going to chill on that outside lane. Lap 13 of 30 to be completed here at the line as we start lap 14 with Brandon Burkhart still leading. Or not leading, sorry, Tyler Justice leading. Brandon Burkhart looking to take the lead on the outside. And Gabriel Ellison sitting in second behind Tyler Justice. Looks like there's a lap car there.
Slower car up here
I think
too.
that's
I think that's Adrian. Yeah, he was having some connectivity issues, I think, when this race started, so he was able to load in, but just a little late. So he doesn't quite have the field. He is on the lead lap, though, so he'll be one down. He'll be the only car lap down. So if we do get a caution, he'll be the beneficiary of the free pass, as long as he stays out of the carnage. But as we saw in that first duel, there's at the end of these races, some stuff's bound to happen. So he's definitely not out of it yet. And just keeping that car clean and surviving might be the best strategy now that he's in that situation.
Yes, I can agree there. And I mean, we may get a caution, but I mean, these drivers are driving very conservative. I don't know if we'll get that caution now. I don't want to put the broadcaster's curse on anything right now, but
I'll do it for you. We got 5 laps left. We're at Daytona. It's about to get interesting.
oh, Gabe Ellison went under the yellow line there a little bit, but
yeah, he might have been trying to peek that nose out.
Yeah, trying
to get some air. We were talking about that earlier. If you get right up behind somebody for a long period of time, it can get those temps up a little bit, but also you can't see through these cars. So you're trying to peek out to get an idea. Okay, where am I at? It's easier if you're in the first 2 rows for sure. But if you're somebody like Adrian, 4th car in line there on the top, you really can't see anything. So sometimes you just have to peek out to kind of get an idea of what's going on in front of you.
Yeah, and we got a little formation of the top line as the top line's looking to charge to the front. Brandon Burkhart getting a huge push down the back straightaway from Jesse Nucula.
Yeah, the 4 strong now on the top, and now it looks a lot like how we started this race. A little 4x4 action here, 2x2, and we'll see until how long it takes for somebody to take it 3 wide. I think that's going to be the move that kind of starts the chain of events here. As soon as somebody shoots the gap or shoots the outside, if a guy leaves a line in the middle, that's probably the preferred method if you're going to shuffle a guy out of line. But sometimes if you know you got somebody behind you that'll go with you, you just got to jump to that 3rd lane and hang them out in the middle. And
You know,
the
I'll be.
best way to go about that is to do it one by one, but all bets are off at the end of these races, as we know.
Oh yeah, I definitely know that with that, especially with that 89 car back there.
Oh, big shove.
Oh, got him
Gabe gave
loose.
Justice a big shove up there and
That's
hung
gonna.
on to it, but he was definitely seesawing that wheel back and forth.
Yeah, it was. That's gonna put the 8 of Brandon Burkhart to the lead right in front of his teammate Tyler Justice.
Yep, now we got teammates back together up front, so that was something we looked for earlier. Their other teammates still a little further back there, but we'll see if he can start getting running. Only 3 cars now on that top line, but they seem to be still holding okay.
Yeah, they're doing all right, and that's what I was gonna say. Someone who likes to shoot gaps, that our director of competition back there, Kyle Ryan. I know he likes to shoot the gaps in some of these super speedway races, so we'll be looking out for him
Well, I
with
think
the
the
last
key
parts
here
of
is
this
if you look
race.
at the 11, the 32, the 89, and the 10, they're gonna be what determines what happens in this race, which line they choose to go with. If they stay on the bottom, it's gonna be hard for that top line to really make a good push. But as soon as one of them jumps to the top and makes it 4 strong, that's going to be a big difference because these cars do stay wound up and carry a little bit more momentum on the top. So the more cars you have up there, the better. But you also see how the inside line's not tight, very disconjected. I mean, that was not the right word I was looking for. I'm very disconjoined, and that hurts the flow, and you can't get as good of a push going. And that's why you see that outline, even with just three drivers, be able to keep up where they're at.
Well, and the problem is now there's only 2 drivers on the inside. The inside line, like you were saying, is gone, so to speak.
Yeah, I
And
wonder what happened with Gabe Ellison there, because he's leaving quite a big gap. I would not think that's intentional. He may have been backing up to Bobby. We talked about their relationship earlier, try to get a push, and now you see him kind of sucking back up to the field. So maybe he was just trying to reach back a little bit, get Bobby a little bit closer, so maybe they can make a push. But it's kind of all scrambled up here at the front as we come back to 1 to go.
lap 20 of 30 to be completed. Or 19 of 30 to be completed.
Yep, I can't do math. You're correct.
That's all right. That's why we got the ticker up here.
Well, in the last 4 races I've watched on here have only been 20 laps, so that's kind of where I got that from. We are starting to see some shuffling, though, for sure. It looks like
Yeah,
the teammates
Max.
have now gone to the outside, hung Max Service on the inside.
Yeah, well, luckily for Max, he's got his teammate of Adrian Schumacher, but there's not a lot of cars there on that inside line. Let's see if I can get a closer view of Max Service to what he's seeing right now.
Top line was pushing hard there as well, and everybody kept it straight, and it looks like we're single filing back out, and now Mr. Ellison finds himself on the short end of the stick. And
Yeah.
he's going to have to find a way in line. I think Bobby's going to let him here on the inside, though.
As he will. Brandon Burkhart out there leading this thing. With, again, his teammate, Tyler Justice, lap 21 of 30, so 10 laps to go. 10 laps to go this time. These guys will be looking to shuffle all around as we see Max Service go to the top side. Gabriel Ellison to the top side.
That's the 2 lines, and that's a strong outer line right there. 3 really good drivers, and now you see the bottom line again. They got disconjointed, and now they're going to be hard. Now we got 5 guys on the top line, so the top line's going to start putting in some work here, I think.
Jesse Nucula is definitely going to take the lead here, no doubt about that. He's going to lead that lap. Get him a lap lead for that 84 machine.
This run ought to help him get some sponsors on that thing. I think that bright red car needs a few logos on it. And,
yeah, I think so too. He's going to try and pluck.
Oh,
he's going to get hooked around. No. Gabe saved it though. Nope.
That's going to be a yellow, I'm sure.
There it is. There's the caution flag out.
I don't think anybody hit the wall really hard there.
Let's see if we can go back and watch that thing. Give me a moment.
85's got front end damage is going to hurt him for sure. The 8's got some tail damage, but the front looks to be in okay shape. A couple other cars. Looks like they just scuffed up the sides. Gabe Ellison's got a little bit of left rear damage, but
see if
the
we
nose
can
looks good.
See if we can watch this thing from the cockpit view. Scott Kalal here.
And the nose is the most important part. So, pay attention to this wreck. And if your favorite driver got hit anywhere to the door or front on these machines.
Oh, just massive. Tyler Justice around. Just something you
And
do
it all
not want to
started with
see.
that block that the 84 made on the inside line, and it looked like they were going to get through it for a second, but you can't really check up when you got three guys pushing you. That whole train's going to keep moving, and um, it kind of jumbled everybody up. Luckily, it happened on an area of the track where there's a lot of escape area, so there were a lot of lazy spins and kind of just doors leaning on each other. But I didn't see anybody have giant damage that's going to end their day.
Yep, we'll
So.
go ahead and watch this thing one more time for the fans at home.
And it looked like it net coated a little bit too. I don't know if those cars were actually touching or not,
Yeah,
but
it definitely did there, but
yeah, it looks like we're good. I don't see any major. Nobody slid all the way to that inside wall, so um, that's probably the best case scenario right there. Because that's the only part of the track where it's kind of paved all the way down because it becomes grass again when you get towards the bus stop of the road course. So guys are gonna come down in here and pit, and they get one set of tires, so they figure out might as well take them.
yep, and you know what that does? That puts Adrian Schumacher, I believe, right back in this thing. Yep, there he goes.
Yep, he's the only car a lap down, and was the only car a lap down. So the whole field will be back on the lead lap here.
So Scott Kalal has stayed out, and Christian Swenson. Well, let's see if we can, might as well get an interview with our leader, Scott Kalal, if I can find him. Here he is.
He exists somewhere
Somewhere
in the depths.
in the depths of the Discord, if I can, if it'll let me drag him. And this thing's a little twitchy
Mr.
at
Scott
first.
Kalal, welcome to the
There we
broadcast
go.
booth, buddy. You got a nice view right now, and your decision was to stay out here. Talk us through that.
Yeah, I got through that all right. I think track positions, well, I mean, I want to say it's going to be key, but you never know here at Daytona. Um, Barely got through that. It was getting a little wild. I thought about maybe dropping back. My teammate Bobby decided to do so there, and luckily we all made it through there.
Yeah, and we were watching that kind of all develop there, and it got time where guys started to make some moves and throw some blocks, and it really doesn't take much in these cars. This is the first time that you're driving the new setups on these cars. Tell us a little bit about its handling, its drafting style, and anything you've learned that you can take into next week.
Yeah, overall it's pretty stable. The only thing I've kind of noticed is there's kind of a dead zone down the straightaways where the wheel gets a little twitchy, and between that and the turbulent air in the packs, these cars really start to move around on the straightaways. So definitely something to be mindful of. You can't do, too aggressive of a side draft or anything like that in these cars without really knowing what you're doing. So just trying to feel it out and be careful here.
Yeah, we've enjoyed the show so far. I think when handling comes into play on these super speedways, it really makes the show good. So, you guys got a few laps left here, so hopefully we'll be talking to you again shortly. But before we send you back, tell us about what team you're driving for this year, what sponsors you have on board, and what we can expect from you this season.
Yeah, so with Phoenix Virtual Racing, we actually weren't going to field an Xfinity team this year, but got enough guys together to make it happen. So definitely appreciate everybody over at Phoenix here for helping make it happen.
All right, good deal. Well, you guys have, I think you'll restart with 5 laps left. So hopefully in about 5 minutes, we're talking to you again. Good luck.
I hope so. Thank you.
Scott Kalal, driver of the 32 for PVR.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how these 5 laps shake out.
And he did talk about the handling a little bit there, and he also stayed out. So are those guys behind him going to be able to make their moves with more confidence because they know there's a touch more grip there? Because the grip does matter at a track like Daytona, believe it or not, and there is a little bit of tire wear, especially on the left sides here. So we'll see what happens there, but that's definitely something to keep an eye on. And him and Christian were both kind of buying their time, and now they find themselves 1-2. So their strategy for some late track position has worked so far.
Yeah, we'll see how the handling shakes out. It'll be interesting. These guys have made quick work of this one for sure. It's gone way faster than the first duel, which is really good to see. I think maybe these guys watched the first duel and figured they'd take it easy rather than wad them up early. But
Yeah, I think we've seen that from all the series that have had the duels this week. The first one's kind of wild and a lot goes down, and it's the first race of the series for the season, so those jitters come out. But I think the guys in the second duel know, okay, we've watched this, we know this is how this works, and this is how we're going to attack it. We're about to find out how this one's going to end.
Yes, we are. As the iRacing.com pace car will pull on the pit road, and Scott Kalal will lead him down to the green into the Geico restart zone. Green flag is out at Daytona. Scott Kalal takes the lead with about 5 laps to go in this thing.
And that's his teammate there on the bottom, Bobby Anderson, who's hung out all by himself. So I don't know if his teammate's going to be a ton of help here, but we're starting to get two distinct lines formed again pretty quickly.
Yes, we are. And they're going to try and take it 3 wide. Oh, no.
Oh,
Kalal
stopping
got
to
hooked.
turn.
Big
Oh, it's going to
wreck.
get
Bobby
Bobby.
Anderson. Two teammates collide, and that'll surely bring out the caution flag here at Daytona. Man.
Yeah, Bobby got that big right there. So both the PVR cars right there are going to be in trouble. I think James Harris, the lone PVR driver left, made it through okay, but those other two cars are not. That's a product of the blocking, and that's what we saw. That started the chain of chaos in duel number one. You got to try to block these runs to stay on top, and that one was just a little bit too late and hooked them. And once you get sideways, it's a tough go.
Here it is on the replay now. You see Scott Kalal tries to go for the block, and he just gets hooked around and into Paul Harris, or yeah, Paul Bliss, excuse me, got into that too. His nose is, or his hood is off that thing. So
Surprising that only took out that many cars because that was at the front of the field in a corner. Probably, like we said, not an ideal area, and but a good evasive actions by a lot of the rest of the field.
yeah,
Been a
definitely, it could
lot
have been a
worse.
lot worse. And as we see Christian Swenson, Max Service, and Kyle Ryan.
Kyle's got a touch of damage there on that left rear. I don't think that'll be affecting him too much because, like we said, the nose of these things is the most important piece. 46 has a little bit of left side damage as well too, but everybody else looks like they're going to get out of here okay. And we'll set it up for what will likely be, I think, a green-white checker.
Well, I think since we've got a new face out here in Christian Swenson, might as well talk to him. Christian Swenson of the number 10. It's your first race in the series so far, and you're leading it. Talk to me about how your race has been so far, Christian.
Well, I guess the strategy was to kind of hang back at the beginning and wait for things to happen. And now here we are up front.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you chose not to pit in convincing fashion. You know, again, this is your first race of the series. There's definitely got to be some jitters in there, but what can you do to get this thing to victory lane here in duel number 2?
Well, I'm going to try and keep the bottom and keep my position, and hopefully I get a little help. Maybe one of my teammates can get up here. But if we can keep it clean, I think we can take the checkers.
And to the checkered, it would be, and how awesome would it be in your first race to do that, to get the win? You start second in the real race. What kind of confidence would that bring to you to start second in a race of that magnitude?
Well, it'd be huge. I mean, obviously, it'd be really good to showcase our sponsor, Lickamolly, and have two cars on the front row would be amazing. And these races, anything can happen, and it usually does. So if we can get them up front at the beginning of the race, maybe we can be there at the end too. But I'm just enjoying this and excited to run this league this year.
All right. Well, but before I get you back down into your Discord with your teammates, I'll let you thank all the sponsors that you have that help you this season.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Yeah, Phase 2 Chassis Works, our team, great bunch of guys. We work really, really hard at what we do here. And again, I mentioned Liquimolly, and they've been a great partner for us for the last 2 seasons. It's awesome to have a German oil company backing us and supporting us. So um, yeah, and thanks to you guys for what you do too.
Yep, and as the president here, I want to thank you as a member of a new team for joining us for Speed Racing Network Season 5. Teams and the team format's kind of what makes it special, and we're excited you guys are here. So it'd be lovely to see you guys go 2 for 2 in the first 2 duels here. That'd be a strong statement by a new team, but we're glad you joined us this season.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, we'll go ahead and get him back down to his Discord with his teammates and a German oil company. That's a new one. That's
Yeah, Liquid
awesome.
Moly, they've been around on some racing stuff in the past. You know, I've seen them quite a bit, and they do support a large variety of drivers, and have been a big supporter of Phase Two Chassis Works, which is that new team that he drives for, along with Dustin Montgomery, Tyler Justice, Brandon Burkhart, um, and Sean Powell is the one I couldn't remember. So you know, we're thankful for all the sponsors, like we said earlier. So make sure if you need some German oil, I think Liquid Moly is your place to go.
I definitely agree. That's pretty. That's pretty awesome. That's one I've never seen before. One that I didn't know about until now.
And
So
we also like to highlight some of our really awesome paint schemes because this series and SRN in general tends to have a lot. That Max Service machine is interesting
it's
color
a
pattern,
nice
but it's a
Miami
good looking
Vice.
machine.
Yeah, it is a
But
nice
I
Miami
really
Vice
like that
looking scheme.
Elliott Sadler Esports machine right behind it. That is
Yeah.
that's a sharp looking ski. And I like that.
Yeah, it's like Max Service was looking for Miami Vice looking
Yeah, it's
scheme
kind of got a
there. It
retro
looks
vibe to it.
got a little retro Miami Vice scheme, whatever you want to call it, but it looks nice and that almost looks like a Jimmy Johnson scheme there for the Elliott Sadler driver. So
All right,
as
looks like
we
we still have about 11 guys in contention, maybe 12 as soon as Bobby catches back up to the field. So still a lot of chances to win it here. We're gonna have a green white checker, our one and only
as
attempt right here. So the next
as
2 laps will settle it.
as the iRacing.com pace car pulls off on the pit road for one more time. Green flag is out, and Christian Swenson will lead him to the green at Daytona.
Big jump. That's gonna be good because he can choose which line he chooses to go for. It looks like he's gonna block the top first. Kyle's gonna have a really good push, possibly. Um,
Oh,
from the he got a
they're
little
getting
squirrely there. Big
squirrely.
service shove, and here comes service to the outside.
Kyle Ryan is going to push Max Service to the front. No doubt about it. Max Service leading here at Daytona just as quick as Christian Swenson thought he might have had it. Max Service is out front.
Max Service recaptures the lead and trots back in front of Christian, and then there's his teammate, the 6 he talked about in his interview. His teammates are going to try to get back up to him, and that'll be a big advantage. And there we go. Now we got those teammates up top.
Yeah, Max Service has Adrian Schumacher as a teammate, but he's not right behind him as we go to the white flag here at Daytona. Christian Swenson leading down the front straightaway.
And teammates are blocking the front. You see a teammate throw a block for Christian there with the 81 of service, shut the door, so they stay 1-2. Other teammates back there on the top trying to make something happen, but it looks like it's going to be pretty much this top 6 that are going to decide it here. Kyle's kind of hung up on the top, and that's going to be unfortunate for him because he's got nowhere to go but backwards. Coming into 3 and 4 though, it's going to be whoever jumps to the top to try to make that move. See what happens here.
And Max Service is gonna look to the top, but I don't think anyone else has it. But there's a top line that's forming, but it's gonna be too little, too late.
Oh,
Never
teammate's
mind.
going to go
Teammate's
for it.
gonna
Here
go
comes
for it.
Justice.
Justice
It's going to be a photo
side by
finish for the
side to
Phase
the
2 Chassis
line.
Works cars.
Swenson,
Swenson got it. That was, whew,
I think. It might have
I
been
think it was
Justice.
Swenson. Um,
Timing
Justice
and scoring
by
says
5
Justice.
1,000ths of a second.
Wow.
Oh man, wow, 5 1,000ths. I mean, we've had 3 duels out of the 6 this week so far settled by 5 1,000ths or less. That's incredible racing. That is incredible.
Yeah,
5
that
1,000
was a great
between
run
teammates. They wanted
to
to
the
make sure the teammates
finish.
would win it.
Yeah, that was amazing run to the finish. We'll
I'm
see
waiting to
if we
get
can
confirmation from the series director. Let me check with him, make
watch
sure
that
we have
back.
the winner real quick.
We're going to see if we can watch that back real quick.
All right, got confirmation. Justice is the winner by 5/1000ths of a second. I had to go check with the admin team, and they confirmed it.
What a finish for duel number two. His teammates go at it, and well, since we're here now, might as well wait and get to talk to our Duel 2 winner, the number 6 of Tyler Justice. Tyler, you are Duel 2 winner, and you had your teammate up there, and I thought maybe you'd stay behind him, but you didn't. What was the motion to go for it there?
Well, really, I told Chris, I'm like, hey, we got enough room here. I'm gonna just push you into turn three, and if they make a run on us, I'm gonna try to go up and block them if they make a move, which I knew they were gonna be able to do that. So I kind of pulled high to block that run out of four, and it just so happened that the momentum took me to the line and barely got Christian there. I really wanted to get Chris the win there, but it just happened to play out like that. But nonetheless, it was still a good finish for both of us. We got 1-2 there, and at a photo finish, couldn't really ask for a better one.
Yeah, 5/1000ths of a second is the official margin we've heard. So that's actually ties our closest dual finish of the week. So that was exciting to watch for sure. We're glad that you and your new team in Phase Two Chassis Works is here at Speed Racing Network for our fifth season, but you guys is first with us. Talk to us a little bit about your expectations going in for the season, what kind of strategy you guys are trying to employ, and a little bit about the partners that make it happen.
Yeah, man. Just coming in here, trying to learn a little bit, try to get a feel for it. Obviously, I'm not really familiar with a lot of the guys in the league yet, so mainly just kind of learn the drivers' tendencies and stuff like that and whatnot. And normally just try to do the best we can. And this is a good start for sure. And always got to thank our sponsors, Liquid Molly, for being on the car as always, and thank all of our teammates. And we had a good night tonight, so it was good.
All right. Well, we're about to talk to the next one, so we'll let you get back to celebrating with the other guys, and we'll grab Christian for a second, and then send him back when we're done with him. But good win tonight. Good to see you guys in the league, and good momentum going into the next week.
Thank you guys, appreciate it.
All right.
All right, and Christian Swenson, I mean, not where you wanted to finish. You definitely wanted to finish P1, but I mean, I think you'll still take a P2, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. That was a great finish. That was exciting. I was really surprised that he got by me there at the end. Like it was 5 thousandths of a second or something. So I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah, 5/1000ths of a second is the official margin that the admins gave us, and they actually put a screenshot up for us to look at after the race, and it's a couple inches. It's close for sure, but you start the season off with 9 bonus points, which is big. We've seen in Speed Racing Network history, ties on the cut line and what have you. So. Talk to us a little bit about how those 9 bonus points help you, the momentum going into next week, um, and anything else that you have for us before we let you celebrate your podium finish.
Yeah, the bonus points definitely help get us started, right? Hopefully we can take that momentum, carry it into the next race, and get a good finish before we move on to some more of the technical tracks. And we need all the help we can get at the beginning. And like I said, hopefully that momentum will carry us for a while.
Sounds good, buddy. Well, glad you guys are in the league, like we said earlier, and you guys have a whole notebook of stuff now to get ready for next week, and we'll see you then.
Right on. Thanks.
All right. Well,
Well,
time for our third place finisher. Is he
we
around?
don't have our third place finisher.
You know what? We'll talk to his teammate. How about that?
Sounds good.
Vincent Cortez, you're in the broadcast booth. Max Service isn't here, so you're going to have to fill in for him. Tell us a little bit about your race in duel number one, Tank Racing's expectations for season 5, and anything else you have for us.
I
Or maybe not.
Maybe we won't have Vincent Cortez.
Well, we gave it an effort. Well, how about our director of competition?
That'll work.
Kyle, you're in the broadcast booth. Tell us a little bit about your experience out there in duel number 2.
Man, I was just trying to ride a little bit off the main track there for chaos, but it was fun. Those guys were fast there at the end. I just kind of got hung out on the end, and then once I knew I hit that point of no return of too much momentum loss and no one was going to come with me, I just had to settle for where I was at. But it was fun. Those guys are fast, and going to be a competitive season for sure.
And we talked earlier about your role with Speed Racing Network, being the director of competition. And now you're out there tonight trying to do some recon and gain a little bit of notes about the competition level out there. What did you notice about the mixture of new guys to returners? Because this series has the biggest ratio of new drivers. So give us a little insight into how that balance played out there on the track.
Yeah, I mean, I've raced with a lot of these guys and open officials and whatnot, and they come to race, and they're gonna show up each and every week and be fast, and it's gonna bring a big competitive edge to the series for anybody that puts in the time. Um, and yeah, we just wanted to turn this back into a drivers league and hand it over to the drivers, and we're not here to be babysitters and control everything. We're just here to monitor more or less, and yeah, looking forward to a great competitive season in all three leagues.
Yep, well, 5/1000ths photo finish is a good way to start it. So we'll hear more from you throughout the season, I'm sure. But it looked fun out there tonight. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, appreciate it. Great racing.
All right, so we got a little bit of everybody up here tonight. I'd also like to thank Jake up here for stepping in to produce tonight's race. Not something you've ever done, if I know that
Nope.
correctly.
Nope.
So we taught you the ropes in about 30 minutes, and you made it happen. So we're thankful for that. Thank you for putting on the show. Um, we got a lot of prep to do before next week. We have a great season ahead of us, and lots for the fans. So make sure you subscribe and like all Speed Racing Network social channels. We'll be putting out tons of content this year between race previews and interviews with team owners and drivers, sponsor outreach opportunities. You'll hear from some of our sponsors as well. So it'll be a fun season, lots of content, um, lots of good stuff happening here. So
Yeah.
stay tuned. There's a lot to come. Anything you got, Jacob, before we
Yeah, before we get off here, it was a lot of fun to do. Hopefully everybody watching bared with me with Duel 1 and Duel 2. Like he said, it was my first time doing this, but yeah, it was still a lot of fun and learned a lot of things along the way. But with that being said, that was the SRN Z-Grill Series Duels, and everybody watching, make sure you subscribe to SRN.